one of the biggest questions you might have in your business as you put together proposals for clients is, do you or should you ask for budget on that initial call? And then how do you spot price shoppers? All right, so we're going to answer those right here in this video. How you doing, everybody? CJ Williams with Primetime Media. Video production, marketing, social media management is what we do here. Be sure to follow this channel. Leave, hit the notification and all that stuff, because on this channel I like to bring you the work I do with my clients and take you behind the scenes and all that stuff. But most importantly, I like to bring information from both sides, the client side and from our side, on the industry that I'm in and how I'm helping my clients with video. So be sure to hit the notification. But this video is for those who are obviously in my industry or industry similar to mine. You're a coach, consultant, you're in design, marketing, whatever. Anything where the price differs based on the customer and you have to put together proposals, after that initial call with them. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who's been in a situation to where you kind of want to know what their budget is, but you're afraid of asking because you don't want them to think that you're coming after their money, coming after all of their budget. I know I'm not the only one who's been in this situation to where, in that initial call, you really don't know what to put in that proposal because you haven't asked them for their budget. Now, in the beginning, for me, this was easy. I just didn't do it. Just because for people I was following, they say you shouldn't do that. Just build it out based on your prices, and they're either going to accept it or not accept it. And that was cool in the beginning when I just did video production. But now that I offer other services like we do, add on photography, we added social media management, all of that stuff, helping distribute the content and get it to where it needs to go. So now we offer more of a well-rounded solution. It's hard to go into a situation not knowing what the client's budget is and trying to put together a proposal. For example, if I don't know what their budget is, and say they only want to spend $1,000, well, if that's the case, then we're only going to talk about shooting a couple videos in one location with a single camera. But what if they have a budget of $6,000? Well, we can offer a lot more. So not only are we in one location, now we're in maybe multiple locations. Maybe we're shooting with multiple cameras. Maybe we're putting together a podcast with multiple episodes, and we're cutting up multiple videos from those episodes. And then maybe we're helping manage the social media. We're distributing the content. So how do you know what to offer them if you don't ask what it is? So you don't want to overshoot. You don't want to outkick your coverage, as they say, and you don't want to undershoot. Either way, you could scare off clients, because if they will look expecting that proposal to have a solution to their problem and you undershot and you only talked about, like, you didn't deliver on that proposal, then they can go somewhere else. On the other side, if they weren't expecting all this stuff, but you gave them all this stuff and they see this big old price, you're gonna scare them off. So either way, it's tough. So recently I had the opportunity to talk with Mr. Carlos Davis. He is a public speaker. He is a a network marketer and a consultant. He runs a company called Stand and Deliver here. We spoke recently on my podcast, and I asked him the question, how do you deal with budget? Or how do you go about asking clients what their budget is? And this is what he had to say.
Again, doing the research and listening, really understanding. Like, I'm big on knowing my clients, like knowing their budget, knowing what value they want.
Do you ask them their budget?
Yeah. A lot of times especially if it's one that I don't know, because I want to understand, again, their budget, but also the value proposition. Like, what do they really need? I used to be scared. I'll be honest with you. I'll be totally honest with y'all that are watching. I was scared to ask about budgets. I was scared about that because then they're going to, oh, well, he asking about money, he's just about money. But I needed to know where they were so that I could properly give them something based on my value.
Yeah. Obviously, I think he's spot on with this. And like I said, the more services you offer, you have to know how to, what kind of value to offer people. And you can't know that if you don't know their budget. So I think when you're asking them, you kind of have to set it up. Like, hey, listen, I'd like to know what we're working with. Me asking your budget doesn't raise my price or lower my price. It tells me what kind of value to offer you. So I don't want to offer you too much, but I don't want to not offer you enough at the same time. So this allows me to build a package that gives you the solutions and provides value. So that's how I look at it. I think that was a great response from him. Let me know what you think in the comments. On the other side of that, how do you spot price shoppers? I'm sure we get them a lot. It's going to happen. These are price shoppers are people who they just talk to you. The only reason they got you on the phone because they want to compare your prices with everyone else, and they're probably going to go with the lowest price. Price shoppers aren't there to get the best value. They're there for the best price. So one of the ways I spot them is how they come at me with showing me examples of videos that they have seen somewhere else, or maybe they're a realtor and they saw another realtor had this great video with all this stuff and drones and multiple locations and people and act, and they come to you and want you to create that. Like, how much would you cost me to do this? And like oftentimes they're taking that same video and talking to other people, videographers, video production houses, and they are trying to get a great price to get that same work done. I hate that because normally I like to work with clients who have no idea what they want, so I can recreate it. Then you have some of these people who want you to recreate stuff for them, and that's not normally how I work. Like, I'm not here to recreate what someone else did. But another way to spot price shoppers is, and this is the same interview I had with Mr. Carlos Davis. Here's one, and we didn't necessarily frame it this way as spotting price shoppers, but this is one way, and I really like it. So take a listen.
So, let's say somebody reaches out to you on social media. They send you a message. Hey,
Happens a lot.
What happens next? Do you send them, say, hey, go here to get started, or what? Like, how does that start?
I'll be honest with you, it really depends on how I'm approached.
Okay.
Because a lot of times on social media is, hey, I saw your Instagram. This looks good. Can we work on this? It's very generic. So a lot of times I'll respond with, hey, thank you very much. Can you tell me how you found me? I get about 9 times out of 10, I get no response.
Crickets.
It's crickets, because it's like one of those, when I ask a question, how did you find me? What did you think of my content? I usually get nothing because they're not prepared.
So there it is. One way that I'm going to start asking, to kind of spot price shoppers and maybe kind of weed out those people who aren't really serious, is to ask them, what of my content have you seen that made you call me? What prompted you to call me? What have I done? Have you seen my work? And what is it about my work that prompted you to call me? And if they can't answer those questions, then they probably didn't see any of your work. They don't care about that stuff. They just want a great price on their project, which is cool. But in my case, like I said, I'm not here to recreate stuff. I'm not here to compete on price. I'm here to provide value. So you could take that, you take that somewhere else. You kick rocks with that, because I can't promise you that I'm going to give you the best price. I don't know what everybody else's price is, but I'm sure mine aren't like theirs. So there you go. So that's just a few things. Like, I'm sure, like I said, if you're a videographer, video production, if you're a coach, consultant, I'm sure or any industry, you're in design, maybe in web design, logo design, or something like that. Any industry where you have to put together a proposal for a client, for a project. So I know you're dealing with that. You have to be, because, well, that's part of the business, right? So I'd like to know what you guys think. Leave your comments down below. And of course, be sure to subscribe to the channel. I have much more content coming. And yeah, until next time, start asking those questions. Ask them what the budget is. And make sure they're not there just for the price. All right?